sign-up sheet on the podium. If you'd like to address the City Council this evening, please write your name on it. All right, good evening, everybody. Time is 6:30, and the special meeting of the City Council for May 18th is called to order. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, when you are ready, will you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Melly Garthwaite.
Melly Garthwaite at large, present.
Councilman Peter Rivera.
Peter Rivera at large, present.
Councilman Sean Ronan. Here. Councilwoman Ann Heffernan.
Councilwoman Ann Heffernan, 1st District here.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella, 2nd District, present.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali, 3rd District, present.
Councilman Gary Donovan.
Councilman Gary Donovan, 4th District, present.
Councilman Edward McMillan.
Councilman Edward McMillan, 5th District, present.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan, 6th District, present.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker is currently absent, but on her way. Councilman David Beaton.
Councilman David Beaton, 9th District, present.
Councilman Ronald Quagliani.
Ron Quagliani, 10th District, present.
And Chairman Christopher Vargo.
Chairman Christopher Vargo, 8th District, present.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And Madam Clerk, when you are ready, would you next please read the call of the special meeting?
Notice of special meeting, May 18th, 2026. Notice is hereby given that in accordance with Rule 4.5 of the Rules of Procedure of the City Council, Chairman Christopher Vargo, Jr. has called a special meeting of the West Haven City Council to be held at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, May 18th in the Harriet North Courtroom, 2nd floor, 355 Main Street, West Haven, Connecticut. The purpose of this meeting is as follows: to hold a public hearing on Mayor Dorinda Boer's fiscal year 27 recommended budget and 5-year capital plan in accordance with Chapter 19, Section 4 of the Charter of the City of West Haven.
Thank you, Stacy. And before we start this evening's public hearing on the recommended FY27 budget, Mayor, would you like to say a few words?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you all again for this work on this budget. Less than 2 weeks ago, I stood before you and I presented a budget to you to review that included revenue enhancements, the changes to expenses that will provide cost savings, and the modernization of plans which will provide more efficiencies to our government. I'm not going to reread the presentation or the budget tonight, as tonight is about hearing from our public. I do want to share with you that to date we have received much input thus far from our residents and businesses alike. Through calls to our office, emails, texts, and of course social media, the feedback from the public and our taxpayers has been overwhelmingly positive. But we know no budget is perfect, and there is always room for improvement. And that's what this process is all about. So it is the additional ideas and input from the public we will receive tonight, and then the work that all of you will do as a legislative body that will make this budget even stronger for the city of West Haven. Because a budget is more than numbers on paper, it is a document that demonstrates our priorities and our commitments as elected officials. The choices we make as a community today together will shape the future of our community tomorrow. I want to thank everyone for being here, and I'm always available for questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, now we will enter the public hearing on Mayor Boer's recommended FY27 budget. First, Councilwoman Akbarali is going to read off the names that have already signed up. Afterwards, she will make 3 calls, so if anybody did not write their name down, you'll still have an opportunity to speak. I just want to remind everybody that when you approach the podium, please state your name and your address clearly for the record. Public hearing this evening is limited on the FY27 recommended budget, so please confine your comments to just that issue. As a reminder that this is not a back and forth between you and the city council. This is an opportunity for us to hear and soak in your comments, ideas, and questions for us to be able to use when we go into our workshop starting tomorrow. And everybody's going to be allotted 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, Councilwoman Akbarali will ask you just to wrap up your thoughts so we can make sure that everybody has an opportunity to speak. And at this time, I will kick over to Councilwoman Akbarali.
Thank you, Chairman. The time is now 6:35, and your public hearing on Mayor Dorinda Boer's FY27 recommended budget and 5-year capital plan is now in session. I have a list of names that I'm going to call one at a time to share your thoughts. James Celestine is the first one. You can come right up to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. James Celestine, 14 Crescent Place, West Haven. And first of all, I want to say what an excellent job this administration is doing. With folks that I speak with around our city, have nothing more but good things to say about what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work. So I want to acknowledge the budget for 2026 with no mill increase. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, as well.
Thank you so much, James, for your comments. Next up, we have Kathleen Steino.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kathleen Steino. I live at 56 Magnolia Avenue in West Haven. I'm here to speak on the budget this evening that was proposed by Mayor Boer. I spoke out last year when we had the tax increase, and therefore I felt compelled to speak out this year as well, as I'm very grateful for a budget that does not include a tax increase for myself or the residents of West Haven. At a time when families are already dealing with higher costs in nearly every aspect of daily life, holding the line on the city mill rate is a significant accomplishment and reflects the administration's commitment to fiscal responsibility. While this mayor seems to make everything look easy, I'm sure this budget is the product of months of tireless work, difficult conversations, and responsible financial planning. The decisions such as reorganizing staff and committing to working within a bare-bones budget may be difficult, but it appears steps were taken and made thoughtfully and responsibly to ensure the city's long-term financial stability. Our families deserve to live in a city that has strong public safety, a quality education system, and neighborhoods that we are proud to live in. The budget invests in these areas and at the same time does not take away our services. As a single mother and a teacher myself, thank you to the mayor and to the city council and everyone who is involved in helping to turn our city around. We see the difference, we feel the difference, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. Up next, we have Kebby Waterfield.
Kebby Waterfield, 70 Seaview Avenue of the mighty 9th District. Good evening, Chairman Vargo and esteemed council members. First, I would like to thank Mayor Boer for presenting a responsible budget that delivers for our community without requiring a tax increase. In a challenging financial environment, that is an important accomplishment for the residents of West Haven and one not seen in surrounding municipalities. As the chairman of the Board of Education, I especially wanted to recognize Superintendent Cavallaro for his leadership throughout this budget process. While the Board of Education always has a need for additional resources to support our students and staff, Superintendent Cavallaro has been very fiscally responsible and understands the financial position of our city. His creative cost-saving initiatives and thoughtful planning helped keep the Board of Education budget sustainable for the city while continuing to prioritize the needs of our students. The Board of Education should not simply be viewed as an expense line in the budget. It is an investment in our children, our neighborhoods, our property values, and the future of West Haven. The Board of Ed is also a partner with the city, working together to strengthen our community while remaining mindful of the taxpayers and the financial realities we all face. I'd also like to thank Kristen Scanlon and the Teachers Union for their coordinated advocacy efforts to increase the state's education contribution to West Haven. Without those efforts, we would likely be looking at a very different budget discussion tonight. In addition, I want to thank our state delegation for recognizing the needs of our students and community and for their support in helping us secure the additional education funding for our city. As a taxpayer, I am personally grateful for a budget that is mindful of the financial pressures facing all of our residents. As a volunteer youth sports coordinator, I also want to stress how important our city's youth services are to the quality of life in West Haven. Along with the school system, the programs, facilities, and opportunities we provide for our children and families help strengthen our neighborhoods and make our community a place in which people want to raise their children. Strong schools, youth programs, and community services are exactly the kinds of investments that attract and retain young families in our city. These are major factors families consider when deciding whether to move to and stay in a city like West Haven. This budget reflects collaboration, fiscal responsibility, and shared commitment. I respectfully urge the council to adopt this budget as presented so we can continue moving West Haven forward together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kebby. Up next, we have Portia Bias.
Portia Bias, can you hear me? Portia Bias, 10 Knox Street. I actually had maybe a comment and a question. Let's see. Well, first I wanted to, congratulations to the graduating classes of 2026. I just want to say that. And I would like to voice my concern regarding the city and the Board of Ed budget. We have approximately 6,000 students throughout our district. Hi, Kathy. And approximately 1,500 of those students have an IEP. And we have a total of 106 paraeducators. Again, 6,000 students. Approximately 1,500 of those students have an IEP, and there are 106 paraeducators. And if I'm not mistaken, I do not believe we will be filling any new positions, or there won't be any positions. So just doing the math, it doesn't add up. I mean, are we giving services to all the students that are needed, that are deserved? Are we giving 100%? Do we have enough staff? 106 paras, 1,500 students have IEPs. So that's what, I wanted to comment on and ask again if you would reconsider hiring paraeducators. There are those who are retiring. Are we going to replace them? It's something to think about. We have apartments going up, complexes, condos. I'm sure they're going to have children that are going to be attending our West Haven public schools. Are we ready for them? And also the budget here. My question to the mayor or to city council, the supplement from Pequot Mohegan of 369,00. I was wondering, those monies, did you use that supplement along with the extra state aid that Governor Lamont gave us to either lower the property taxes or not raise the taxes at all? Because when he did give us that extra state aid, it was to be for either lower the taxes or not raise the taxes at all. And I would like to commend the mayor for not raising the taxes, but we did get those monies from the state. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Portia, for your comments. Next, we have Colleen Bailey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Colleen Bailey, and I'm the library director here in West Haven. I'm here today to publicly thank the mayor for the strong support of the library over the last 3 years with our budget requests. I know that both City Council and the Mayor have an impossible task to put together a budget that works for everyone. The library's budget is currently 1% of the city's total budget, which works out to be approximately $33 per capita. Like everyone at the library, we have seen our utilities increase, costs for all our supplies go up, and we have seen a dramatic increase in the needs of our spaces and services. Last year, we saw over 105,000 visits, with almost 35,000 reference questions asked, and another 6,200 questions just asked about technology, such as how to set up an email or applying for jobs. We are a job center, a community space, an educational institution, a programming place, and a de facto warming and cooling centers in extreme weather. Last year, we hosted 750 programs for adults and children and saw over 8,000 people for our programs, from story times to book clubs and author talks, and programs about haunted places. We've hosted job fairs, and we hosted a play at our Ora Mason branch in collaboration with the Savin Rock Theater Company. We work alongside many organizations in town, such as the Community House, the city's health department, and we do what we can to assist our fellow organizations. In the almost 18 years I have worked at West Haven Library, we have seen so many changes in the needs of residents and what services are expected within a library, such as Wi-Fi, loaning hotspots. We now have a toy library and a library of things that includes tool sets and cake pans, and of course the books and DVDs that are now both available in print and digital. Libraries are a cornerstone of every community, and I want to thank all of you for recognizing the importance of the library. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Colleen. Next, we have Christian Jacome.
One second. Kristen Jacome, 53 Sumac Street. Hello, Council. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I am standing here today with some suggestions after reviewing the fiscal year 2027 and 5-year planned capital budget. Budgets can often be overwhelming to a lot of people, especially for the average resident. There's a lot of percentage, numbers, and they can tell a story, but when you have so much in front of you, you might not know how to read it, or what's being presented and how and will it affect families, myself, speaking as a whole directly. And I'm standing here today because I believe we can all agree West Haven is looking to move forward from a long history of fiscal distress, stagnation, and mismanagement, to name a few. However, what brings the best thing out of that is being able to learn from past mistakes, rebuild, and I honestly see it as a way to connect with neighbors, elected officials, and finding tools and moments to create connection, more informed community, engaged and accountable neighbors as well. I believe the strength in the city does sit in its people, and it's important to create resources when and if none are existent to create the accessibility to ensure everyone has a fair chance to be part of the growth. That's how trust is built, and honestly, participation can truthfully grow from there, and all 10 districts can move forward together. I do believe it's important. I heard the woman before me was speaking about the library, and in 2020, the library in Allentown was closed down. I understand that there was works in 2023 of it opening up, and then in late in 2025, it was sold to another developer. When speaking and hearing Portia speak about kids, it's important to take that into consideration. There's a lot of moving parts in a city, and we all deserve to be a part of it, especially, again, creating those accessibility points where we can create inclusion. And what I'll say here is my suggestions will follow, is any line item with a significant increase or decrease, for example, anything more or less, 5, 10%, could include a brief, plain explanation so residents could better understand the reasoning behind the change. I did notice the grant administration increased by 12%, and I'm not too sure if it's whether staff increase, consultant, management to manage the funds, software, or an example of a decrease could be the city clerk. Could it be due to technology, the modernization? And if so, how and will it affect operation efficiency? There's a lot of different opportunities that we can use to better educate our neighbors, residents, community, however you want to name them. A second suggestion would be, are these changes, including savings, are they temporary? Are they reoccurring? And what comes to mind is the registration of cars. I understand we did a pilot program, we were able to get a lot of money, but that might be a one-off thing. I'm not too sure. The third would be prioritization of projects. Some questions that come to mind are which projects are going to be grant funded or which are debt funded, and what determines the priority of those. And to tie this into my last suggestions, it would be introducing a public-facing grant and capital project dashboard or a page where it can say West Haven City Projects in grants portal page. West Haven has an opportunity to embrace modern tools that improve efficiency, accessibility, and again, public understanding. I understand we invested the ARPA funds in many different ways, and I'm still waiting on the FOI request I submitted on April 8th. What I initially believed would be relatively straightforward request seemed as though it's a much longer process than I anticipated. It's okay. However, understanding how we can use those moments to improve. As the mayor mentioned, there's always room for improvement. I believe portals and dashboards can help tremendously. To conclude my suggestion, I'd like to add, I believe many residents are not looking to oppose budgeting efforts, but rather better understand how decisions today can connect to the city's long-term plan, sustainability, and shared vision for us all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kristen. And now we have Robert Bruno.
Good evening. Robert Bruno, 140 Ames Drive. I am here to support the mayor's recommended budget. I know firsthand how difficult this year's budget process has been due to less revenue coming in and increased costs due to economic pressures, as we see statewide. Many municipalities are facing significant tax increases, but due to the mayor and her hard team fiscal stewardship, we are very fortunate that the city can maintain the same mill rate with no city's tax increase. As the council begins to review and deliberate the budget, I wish you all the best and thank you for your service. I know firsthand how difficult the process this can be. Please feel free to reach out if I can be any assistance to you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your comments, Robert. Does anyone else from the public have any comments regarding the FY27 budget? You can come up.
Richard Standish, 78 Atwater Street. I'm just here for one reason only, to support this budget, support this council, I have many friends on the council, and of course, support Mayor Dorinda Boer, who is doing a wonderful job, and she's got the pulse on this city. I get a lot of feedback from people, and they think she's wonderful, and so do I. So not only is she a great mayor, she's a good friend. So I'm here to support you. I won't gas bag tonight. This is short. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Rich. Does anyone else from the public have any comments? For a second time, does anyone else from the public have any comments? Steve?
Hi, Stephen Mullins, 22 Oak Road in Allentown. So I'm going to go back to 2023. Interesting time period in our history, going from, I would say, 19 to 23. And the election that year, quite frankly, I did not know what to expect. And I really did not feel extremely positive, because West Haven was in such a financial mess. We were an embarrassment in the entire state. And I didn't know who, if anyone, could get us out of it at all. It got to the point of being almost embarrassed to be from West Haven, considering everything that had happened during that time period and the administration in place at that time. So, this is coming from a former opponent. I must say that the city has turned around extremely magnificently in such a short time period, because it took us several decades to be in the mess that we were in. And it really came to a head in the last couple of terms of the previous administration. So, yeah, I am going to speak in favor of this budget with no tax increase, considering the fact that so many municipalities in the area who are led by people who share your affiliation, their taxes are going up. We're looking at Stratford, we're looking at other places, and at Milford, we're talking about a serious problem that hurts schools, hurts people's quality of life, and we're not seeing that in West Haven. So I want to thank the administration, I want to thank you for finally being fiscally responsible. And it's my hope that it's kept up. Kept up to the point that we don't want to be a New Britain situation, and make sure that P card is used properly, ma'am. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Steve. Does anyone else from the public have any comments regarding the FY27 budget? For a second time, does anyone from the public have any comments? For a third and final time, does anyone have any comments regarding the FY27 budget? Seeing there are no more comments, Chairman, it is 6:56, and your public hearing is now closed, and I would just like to end it with a statement. I would first like to thank Mayor Borer and the administration for all of your hard work on this budget. Thank you to everyone who came out tonight and shared your thoughts, concerns, and feedback. Public input is an important part of this process, and we truly appreciate the community taking the time to be involved. The Finance Committee and the Council will continue reviewing the proposed budget department by department, meeting with each department head to ensure we fully understand the needs, priorities, and impacts of this budget. We remain committed to a thorough, transparent, and fiscally responsible process. Thank you again for your participation and engagement tonight. And I'm going to hand it over to our chairman.
Thank you. You took a lot of words right out of my mouth, so I really don't have much to say. First of all, I want to thank everybody for showing up this evening. For those of you that spoke and gave your comments and your thoughts, we really appreciate it. This is a very important process, part of the process. That way we know, from you, the residents, the taxpayers, the people that are actually directly impacted by the decisions of the mayor and her staff and the 13 of us up here. It's very important that we know what's on your thoughts and what's on your heart. Mayor, thank you so much for all of the hard work that you and your staff have put into this budget. I've poured over it cover to cover a couple of times, and I could see how difficult a lot of those decisions have been for you. Your work does not go unnoticed at all. So thank you so much for everything that you and everybody are doing. Last but not least, the City Council does take its responsibility to its residents very seriously, especially when it comes to the city budget. We will carefully review the mayor's recommended budget line by line to ensure that our police, fire, public works, schools, and all other city departments have the resources that they need to serve our community effectively. At the same time, we recognize that the financial pressures facing our taxpayers. Our goal is to strike the right balance between maintaining high-quality city services and protecting residents from unnecessary tax burdens. We will work thoughtfully and collaboratively to deliver a budget that reflects the priorities and best interests of our entire community. Once again, I thank everybody, and now our work starts tomorrow night. We're going to be seeing a lot of each other. Time is 6:58. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Second, third. Have a great night, everybody.